Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're not new. Today I'm going to be talking about 10 books that I bought specifically because of the internet. So that means YouTubers, book talkers, whoever I was watching, they convinced me to buy these books, and these are books that I probably would not have bought if I didn't see a review of them on the internet. So the first one is one of the books that I have in my collection that's like the oldest. I've had this book for a very long time, and that is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. And this book is a pandemic book. So basically a pandemic like wipes out the population. And it also has to do with like a traveling Shakespearean like acting crew, I think. I have no clue. I heard that it's haunting, it's lyrical, and those are all things that I am super intrigued by. So that is the first one that I bought specifically because somebody on the internet told me that it was a good one. Also, it is a National Book Award finalist, so that speaks a little bit to it, but I don't know that I would have picked up this book, especially knowing that it's a pandemic book, because pandemics scare me a little bit, not going to lie, but I purchased this book and I definitely will be reading it. So the next book is actually a book that I started and I had to put it down because I just was not in the mood for it. But this is a book that I just don't want to get rid of because I know that I'm going to like it because everybody likes this book. And that is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. Basically, I believe this book follows a man who kind of wakes up one day and he's in like this alternate reality where instead of like being a man with a family, he's like a world-renowned physicist. So you follow him in this journey where he is, I think he's trying to get back to his normal life. I'm not really sure, but I've heard nothing but good things. I've never heard one single person talk bad about this book, which is why like it shocked me that I had to DNF in the moment, but I can't get rid of it just because I know that people love it. So I will probably love it. It was just probably right book, wrong time type of situation. The next book is another book that I've heard nothing but amazing things about, and this is a new release. It's called Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy. And this book basically takes place on like an isolated Antarctica island, and they're like doing seed farming or something like that, but it basically follows this family. There's the father and then 3 children, and they are going to have to evacuate this island when all of a sudden a woman washes up on shore, and they have to kind of like grapple with what to do because of this woman being there when she probably shouldn't be. And I am super intrigued by this book. The premise sounds good. I love a book that's set in like an isolated setting. Like I eat that type of stuff up, so this book sounds so good. And like I said, I've heard nothing but amazing things about this book. The next book is kind of a shocking one, and that is Immortal Longings by Gong. The reason this is shocking to me that I purchased this book is because I read her other book, what is it called? These Violent Delights, and I didn't like it. So I'm not sure what somebody said that made me want to pick up Immortal Longings by Gong. It must have been amazing because I kind of swore her off after I didn't like that book, and other people like really liked it. So this one, honestly, the premise sounds really amazing. It basically follows this woman, and I think she enters like this deathly competition type of situation, like I guess kind of like the Hunger Games maybe. I'm not really positive, but basically the winner gets an audience with the king and has the chance to kill him. And there's like body swapping magic type of thing going on. I'm not really sure what that means, but it all sounds very interesting. I love a book with a competition, so maybe that's why I picked this book up. But like I said, I heard somebody talk about it and immediately had to add it to my TBR. The next book that I picked up specifically because of the internet, and I know that I picked it up specifically because of the internet, is because I had the chance to purchase this one, and then I didn't purchase it based on like the summary, and then I heard somebody talk about it, so the next time I did my book of the month order, I ordered this book, and that is Passion Project by Sperry. This one I think follows, and I keep saying I think because obviously like I haven't read the book, like I don't actually know, but this one, I believe, follows our main character who is dealing with the death of her boyfriend, and then she starts this project with this other man to kind of like ignite the passion in her again by exploring New York City. So that is what this book is about, and it's a romance, and I love romances. So whoever was talking about this, thank you, because I always need a new romance on my TBR, and that is Passion Project. Now this next book is surprising to me why I bought it, and that is Red Rising. Now I'm not a big sci-fi type of reader. I mean, there are sci-fis that I love, like Project Hail Mary, like I love that book, but overall, I'm not a big sci-fi reader, but this one sounds very, very interesting. And again, I feel like people talk about this book so highly that it just makes me want to pick it up. I believe there's like a caste system in this world, and our main character, I think, is like in the low parts of the caste system, and he's like trying to rise up into the caste system, or maybe he's pretending to be higher up than he is. I'm not really sure. All I know is that I will read this book one day, and I'm sure that I'm going to love it. I've heard that it like destroys people as you get further on in the series, and sometimes you're just in the mood to be destroyed by a book. The next book certainly is a book that I bought because of the internet, and that is A Psalm for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. Again, it's the whole sci-fi thing. Like, I never really saw myself as being into sci-fi, but this one is such a cute little book. It's so short that like I had to pick it up once I heard people talking about it. I think it follows somebody who's a tea monk, and they are not happy with their life, so they go exploring and they run into a robot, and I think that this is like maybe like one of the first like human robot interactions in a long time, and I think that they get close, and it just sounds so cute and wholesome that I had to pick it up. I actually picked up the second book in this series as well, even though I've never read the first one. Why do I do that? I have no clue, but A Psalm for the Wild Built. The next book is a YA fantasy, and I've almost kind of moved away from YA fantasy. I mean, not entirely. There's still like a lot of YA fantasy that I want to read, so ignore me. But this one is Belladonna, and again, I've heard nothing but good things about this series. This book, I believe, follows a girl who has like this interesting history with death. Like, I don't think that she can die, maybe, but she can see death or something like that. I think maybe death is like a character in this book, but I think she has to go to this like estate with her family, and she has to kind of like uncover a mystery. I think her aunt is dead, and maybe her cousin is like sick or something like that, and she has to kind of uncover that. Meanwhile, there's like maybe a relationship with death and like another character. I have no clue. I have no clue. I'm going in blind a little bit, but I am excited to read this one. And like I said, I've heard really good things about it, so that's why I picked it up. And this is another one. I picked up the second book as well. Who knows why? The next book is Fear the Flames, and I know exactly why I picked this one up. Somebody said dragons, and that's all I needed to hear. All I needed to hear, that this was a good romantasy book with dragons in it. And that's all I know. Truly, that's all I know. An exiled princess teams up with the last man she thought she could trust in the start of a dazzling and unforgettable epic fantasy romance series. And there's a map in the front. Yep, that's all I needed to see. That's all I need to hear. I'm in. And finally, we have The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book. I believe it takes place in the 70s maybe, and there's like a summer camp and people go missing, and there's like mystery, but it's also kind of like a drama. It just sounds right up my alley. It sounds like something I'm going to absolutely love. And so when I heard people talking about it, of course I had to pick it up. And with that being said, those are the 10 books that I bought specifically because of the internet. If you want me to do this video again, I totally can. I buy so many books because of reviews that I read online or see videos of online. So if you want me to do this again, I most definitely will. Anyway, I hope that you found something new to read, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye!